For more than a year, I've been talking about creating loyalty loop experiences. And someone just asked me this question. Hey Drew, what exactly is an experience? And this question made me realize I have never defined the word experience. I've never explained what an experience is. Better yet, I've never shown you what an experience is, why an experience matters, and why every single person in your company contributes to creating a great experience. So that's what I'm doing today, using this chair as an example. All of this and more on today's episode of The Loyalty Loop, from right here in my office. If you've watched every episode of The Loyalty Loop, you know that a loyalty loop is defined as a series of post-commitment encounters designed to elicit intense and eager enjoyment, approval, or interest. That is the textbook definition. Notice it's a series of encounters or experiences. And that begs the question, what exactly is an experience? Now I'm gonna define that in a second, but first we need to talk about this chair. The truth is, I just found out that this chair is a knockoff. It's a fake, it's a fraud, it's not the real thing. And I bought 4 of them, 4 fake chairs. However, this chair might never have existed if it wasn't for this guy, Greg Buchbinder. Greg Buchbinder is the CEO of this company, Emeco. And in 1998, when he took it over from his father, Emeco was not in great shape. It was nearing bankruptcy. Emeco is based in Hanover, Pennsylvania, and the company's been around for a long time, about 75 years. In 1948, Emeco invented an indestructible chair made of very lightweight aluminum, and they patented the chair. Now, this chair wasn't made for just anybody, it was actually made for the US military. I mean, who else needs an indestructible aluminum chair, right? In fact, the Navy purchased thousands and thousands of them. They are called the 1006 Navy chair. By 1955, Emeco was churning out 200,000 aluminum chairs, most of those for government contracts. By 1998, most of those government contracts had dried up, and they weren't producing 200,000 chairs anymore. In fact, they were producing barely any. The factory floor was pretty quiet. And in 1999, Greg Buchbinder went to tour the factory and spend some time on the floor figuring out how he might reduce costs to save this business. As he toured around the company trying to find a way to save Emeco, he walked into the office manager. And as he stood there waiting for Deborah to get off the phone, by the way, I don't know the real office manager's name, but I imagine she looks like this and her name is Deborah. And Deborah is on the phone. And this is the one side of the conversation that Greg sees.
As I just explained, sir, I will not send you chairs unless you send money first. No. You send the money, then we send the chairs. Look, we don't know anything about you. I've never heard of your company. We have never fulfilled an order before. I don't have you in my files, and until you send me a check, we will not send the chairs. Sir, send the check, we'll send the chairs. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
And Deborah hung up the phone. Now keep in mind, Deborah is the office manager. She's not in customer service. She doesn't do sales. She is the office manager who happened to receive a phone call. Now put yourself in Greg's shoes. He's just waiting to say hi and talk to Deborah when he hears this conversation. So I imagine the conversation that he had with Deborah went something like this. Hey Deborah, who was that? And Deborah says, I don't know. I wrote down his name. It is Giorgio Armani. Yes, Giorgio Armani. That Giorgio Armani. And Greg decided to call Giorgio back. It turns out that Giorgio Armani wanted to order a whole slew of chairs for his stores around the world. He loves the 1006 Navy chair. And in this conversation, Greg finds out that not only is Giorgio Armani the only one that loves these chairs, but friends of his love this chair. Friends like Philippe Starck and Frank Gehry and Norman Foster. Lots of famous designers love this chair. And that is when Greg pivoted the business. They repositioned the chair not as an indestructible chair for the Navy, but a chair for designers. Designers just like Giorgio Armani. And the factory started humming again. Chairs started flying out the door, onto pallets and into trucks to get to these famous designers around the world. Greg redesigned the website, and all of a sudden, the brand was reinvigorated. You know Emeco chairs, you just might not have known they were Emeco chairs. If you've ever watched a movie or a television show with an interrogation scene, you know the Emeco Navy 1006 chair. Like this scene from iRobot. Didn't see that movie? That's okay. Did you see The Dark Knight? That's an Emeco chair. Didn't see Dark Knight? No problem. Did you see Kingsman? Because those are Emeco chairs. Didn't see Kingsman? That's okay. Did you see Maze Runner? Because those are Emeco chairs. Next time you're watching an episode of Law & Order or some crime drama, look for the Emeco chairs. Everyone in your organization is part of the loyalty loop. Even your office manager, because everyone has an opportunity to create an experience. So what's an experience? Here's my definition of an experience. An experience is an event or occurrence that leaves an impression or not. Yes, that is an experience. What if Greg hadn't been standing there at that moment to overhear that conversation? What impression would Mr. Armani have left with? Ask yourself, are you being a Deborah? Because everyone in your organization has the power to leave an impression. Mike in accounting, Jennifer in legal, Sahid in design, Nancy in the C-suite. Everyone is part of a great loyalty loop experience. And any one experience can destroy a company or turn it around. So with the very next email you write or call you take, with the very next design you release or contract you send, ask yourself, what impression will this leave? And how long will it last? So what's an experience? An experience is an event or occurrence that leaves an impression or not. Next week on the Loyalty Loop, I'll show you how one brand leaves a great impression with every call that it gets to its customer service team and how they create a great Loyalty Loop experience. But right now, I'm gonna have to write an email to Greg Buckbinder and apologize for buying a crappy knockoff of the Navy 1006 chair. I feel pretty guilty about that. In fact, there's a whole way to tell if it's a Buckbinder chair. You see, they spend a lot of time grinding their chairs, and anyway, if you want to know more about how you can tell if you have a knockoff, leave it in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll write this apology email and see you next time.